Yep.
There we go. Now it's started. What's going on, people? Back with the talk show about everything, episode 7. What we got? What, 4 away from 11? Is the math right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I do that right?
7-11. It's funny because for some reason when you do intros, I really expect to hear you say, "What's up, people?" through the power of fiber optics. I feel like that's missing. I feel like that should be stated every time you do it.
You gotta come to the channel for that.
Okay, so
That's
only for the people who come through the channel. I got you.
Yeah, you gotta come to the channel for that.
I'm gonna need my
as
phone
always,
to not be playing ads though during the middle of a goddamn podcast. What is going on? This is gonna be
unprofessional. This is the worst intro ever right now.
Alright, so disclaimer, it's been a couple of weeks since we've done this, so we're a little rusty.
Has it been a couple of weeks or just
it feels like
it's only been a week.
I feel like it has been 2 weeks. Don't ask me why. Let me see, because Twitch actually does tell you past broadcast.
Well, we did
it last Monday.
The 5th was the last.
Like a week and a half.
So it's been 11 days. All right, so a week and a half.
Like a week and a half.
All right, whatever.
As always, our co-host. Well, I'm a co-host. This is originally Mike's idea, so. The host,
at this point, I don't even know if I want to claim this shit show the way it's going.
You know, homie Chris, X11 Prodigy,
yo, what's
long ass usernames.
Could you please give the background on that name? Because that name, I love the story of how you came up with your Twitch name.
What I start off saying though, never give like 14-year-old, 15-year-old me the opportunity to try and create a brand, because it's fucking stupid. But I went on Twitch because I'd been on Justin TV, and they told me I couldn't have my username because I had it on Justin TV. Stupid. And then I came up with this creative idea. Well, my brand, my gaming brand anyway, Nation Awkward. Okay, let's shorten that up. Boom, stick that with an underscore in front of that, and what I got was a name as long as time. And then Twitch.
So you care to pronounce that name for us?
Look, it's Nation Awkward underscore X11 Pride. I don't. Everybody on Twitch calls me like I'm like, just ignore everything before the underscore. And then, funnily enough, a week after I made the account, a week or two, that's when Twitch shut down Justin TV, and my username, I got control of it. So yeah, I now have like a bunch of people on an account that I can't stand the name. Twitch name changes. Get started on that.
Yeah, Twitch definitely needs to allow that. Everybody needs to do name changes. Speaking of which, PlayStation, I need y'all to start the goddamn name changes, please. Like seriously.
Wait, don't you love getting killed by like a hairy ball sack?
Huh?
No.
PlayStation doesn't do name changes?
I didn't hear what he said.
PlayStation doesn't do name changes.
You didn't know that?
No, I had no fucking idea that PlayStation does not do name changes.
Since
PSN came out. Last gen they didn't care because it was free to play online. So it didn't matter. You could just literally make a new account. And they just didn't give a fuck. This gen I have no clue about it. Why? But I mean, like, if they allow name changes, you will never get killed by a sweaty sack.
Yo, how I fuck your moms and shit like that.
Wow.
And that's another thing they need to. They actually need to police your names. Too.
I don't care anymore. I've seen people get so damn creative with those names.
But I've seen people put it like straight out, like ass muncher and shit like that, spelling it the correct way.
Yo, that's crazy. I can't appear offline. I can't change our name.
And that's another thing.
It's something
online.
So simple. Why don't y'all have these features?
It's dumb. I honestly think, like, because I heard that people complain about some things that they took away from Xbox 360, on Xbox One, and they've taken things away from PlayStation 4 too. Like, why don't the friend notification pop up anymore to know when someone's online?
I don't want that.
I mean, I don't want it, but I do think that it was something that people did like.
But this is what I have to say. You
like,
also
I mean, me personally, I need as little popping up on my screen as possible because it's annoying. That's what I have the PlayStation app for. That being said, it's a simple feature that was in what was considered a lesser property, but now in an improvement, you don't have that shit no more. What's the deal with that?
I don't want that feature unless I have the ability to appear offline, so that will never show up on somebody's screen.
I don't mind it. I never mind seeing people's names. I just thought that it got a little out of hand sometimes. Just people always popping up and shit like that.
I also think.
I mean, give me the option to turn it off. It should be there, but give me the option to turn it off.
Yo, real quick, I gotta fucking I gotta undo this retweet first and then at y'all at this. This is funny as fuck. How do you make mistakes like this, bro?
What happened?
How do you make mistakes like this? Like, this is hilarious. Wait till I fucking add y'all on Twitter. This is fucking hilarious. Whoever is the head of the Call of Duty YouTube account would get fired. They would get fired on the spot, yo. I would call their ass right now, but like, you're fired.
You had one job.
Really? He just took the raw file and uploaded it like that?
Hey, hey, it's difficult out here sometimes.
Oh my god, yo!
I mean,
I will fire them.
I'm sorry. You're the go-to guy for a major company. I'm gonna need you to be a little more, be just a tad bit more on point with your job.
Nah. Sorry.
He would be fired. He would be fired, yo. He would be fired. Oh my god.
Is ridiculous. But
all
right, before we move on to any topics, Modem, what's been going on with you and your channel?
Man, I'm getting ready for Halo 5, Need for Speed, and all that. I just put out a video claiming all the games I was excited for, and just a little quick update for the channel. Halo, I'm super excited, man. Can't wait. Definitely preparing for that. I just bought a new controller. So I can go hard in the paint with it. Nothing really series-wise besides I got another interview that I'm doing with another YouTuber. That should be up really soon. But if you want some power of fiber optics, come through to the channel.
The power.
But that's pretty.
Well, there you go. You can get the power of fiber optics.
Yo, real quick.
Especially with, I'm sure, especially when Halo drops, you're gonna be going nuts.
Right. Oh man, this is gonna be crazy. But shout out to the girlfriend. I didn't come up with through the power of fiber optics. She did. So
clever. That was very, very clever.
Credit. Yeah, she just hit me with it one day. She was just like, through the power of fiber optics. I was like, what? And she's like, I'm a Flying Modem. And I was like, yo, that's actually kind of hot. Like, she was like, you like it? And I'm like, yeah. So ever since then, I've used it.
That's cool. That is cool. All right, Prod. Okay, we gotta let Prod have a moment here because there's a situation going on with this channel, and I'm gonna need. Feel free to discuss it at length.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go.
Is it the username? Is it the username?
Oh, well, no.
Apparently, nobody can search for it because they don't have enough
so,
characters in the search box.
All right, so on the gaming side of things, I'm in the process of doing like a complete rebrand of gaming content, so that'll be probably coming around the time Fallout 4 drops. That's the current plan. But what Mike is talking about, what I do on YouTube and the anime community is pretty new. And just like with gaming when it was new, there's a lot of copyright stuff. And Right now, I have 3 copyright strikes. Channel's perfectly fine because I've just been dealing with it. But what we finally, the difference this time is we got in contact with one of our contacts at one of the copyright companies, who in turn passed it on to the Japanese companies, and it is being looked at on a government level now. So if you hear an international incident occurring, it wasn't my intention. That's all I'll say.
Oh my god. So
Yeah,
basically,
so
you're the cause of all this high anarchy.
He is causing international incidents and shit.
No, we talk with the copyright holders, and then another quote-unquote random-ass committee is striking down people's videos when nobody told them to, like they're the copyright holders. And so something has to be done. Gotta get to the bottom of this, Shaggy.
I would love to see this go to the point where you have to appear in like Japanese Supreme Court.
See, I don't want that.
Equivalent.
I don't want that. I don't want that.
Yo, you're like national exposure and shit.
I don't
They
got,
put the
I don't
cameras
have,
on you and be like, yo, go to my YouTube channel. Oh my god, that would be funny as hell.
But yeah, that's what Mike's talking about in terms what's going on with my channel.
Good luck, and hopefully it'll be taken care of soon.
I mean, I'll be able to make videos soon. It's just a matter of the other stuff is what I'm worried about.
Mm.
I don't want to have to deal with copyright anymore. I've been dealing with it for like 2 years now. So.
Yeah, I know you're constantly getting strikes. That's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm glad I haven't had a strike lately. Knock on wood. I don't need that.
I ain't got no wood to knock on.
I'll knock it for you.
I'll take a copyright strike over a community guideline strike.
Oh, believe me, I understand why you would accept a copyright strike over a community guideline strike. Trust me. It's bullshit. Especially since a copyright strike, there's a chance that it could be valid, whereas with the guideline strike, you can just make up some bullshit and get somebody like blocked.
And the Japanese companies, like I said, it's new, so they don't generally respond. It's literally just I have to wait 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks for them to not respond for me to get my stuff back. So.
That's crazy.
Fun fact about the DMCA: if they don't respond within a certain amount of time, you win.
You win.
Oh yeah, and that's a tip for anybody out there doing YouTube. If you actually don't believe that it's right, fight it. Because if they don't respond or they don't validate in most cases, YouTube will drop it.
Now, if they respond, you got to look at the situation. Are you willing to go to court over that video? I just want to toss that out there.
Yeah.
If they respond, don't fuck with it. That's a buy. Because then it can turn into actual legal fight where you need a lawyer and stuff. So.
What they would call a clusterfuck. What they would call a clusterfuck for sure.
Speaking of Japan's and all that jazz, Capcom just released a video footage not too long ago, of their spin-off of Resident Evil called Umbrella Corps. Anybody got anything to say about this?
I don't know how to feel about the Umbrella Corps thing. I know, and by the way, people, we have a little bit of catching up to do because it's been about a week and a half, so there's some news articles we might throw out that's been talked about. Apologies, but hey, you know.
If you want to ask our opinions, you can just put that in the comment section and we'll get to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, Modem. Go ahead.
No, that wasn't me. That was Mike.
Oh, Mike. All black people sound.
I kind of wish that Capcom would stop coming up with these these different variations on this franchise and just try to actually make a good Resident Evil game again. I don't know. At this point, I don't know what Capcom is doing, to be quite honest. If it wasn't for Sony, actually,
they're hoping Street Fighter will save them.
Well, that's the thing. But I really think that if it wasn't for Sony sitting there with money invested to be able to look over their shoulder, I'm not sure the Street Fighter would come out decent when it comes to Capcom. Capcom, I feel like all the major Japanese publishers are kind of falling apart and are kind of like trying to transition away from, gaming, and in that like weird state of trying to figure out what they want to do now to make money. I feel like they're kind of messing up things. It's just like with Konami and the whole Metal Gear thing. Thankfully, Kojima is a good enough developer to be able to make a game that was relatively well received. But you got Konami with the whole throwing in the crazy, weird microtransactions to get people to buy into it extra, and things like that, and them like with not wanting to make any more games after this, and putting all their characters in pachinko machines, and it's just like, what are you doing, Konami? And I feel like Capcom's about to go that same way, and I think they're going to take with them another really good gaming franchise in Resident Evil. I don't know. Prod, your thoughts?
Once again, I go against the grain. I'm just gonna kind of wait to see the game. I like it, again, being the nerd that I am. I like difference in a franchise and in a universe, and so to me, it depends on. You got to give some type of justification for this. Why are we doing what we're doing? And I need it to tie in, and I just need to be a good game. When I think of any type of game, yeah, an idea comes to my mind, but it's up to them as a developer to change that. Like, I know a lot of Metal Gear fans don't say Metal Gear Rising is a Metal Gear game, especially not in the traditional sense, but it's still a good game, and I think it has its place in the series, just not as one of the Metal Gear Solids. I think that I want to see more games in a universe without it just being like, why does every single Fallout game have to be an open world survival-esque game?
I thought Fallout 1 and 2 wasn't like that.
They were RPGs, but it was...
Yeah, turn-based RPGs.
It was essentially still the same thing. It's not like a departure, in my opinion, from... Like, you have your RPG mechanics, you're walking around a wasteland, you're killing things, and it's purely that. It's, like, I like the idea of Telltale games coming off of Borderlands, with Tales from the Borderlands, with Borderlands. Like, that just difference in the type of content that we're getting. We're not just getting one genre to fit one storyline. Some games it works for, I think others you can get away with it. I liked things like Revengeance, even though I haven't played a lot of the other Metal Gears. I think that, and it might just be that, I like people to take chances. I don't want it always to be, I don't want to necessarily say, like, you pick up a Resident Evil game, it's going to be because it's been a long time since Resident Evil, you pick it up and it was going to be like a horror genre type game. Like, since 5, that's kind of been out the window. It's been action, just been more and more action since 5.
I guess that's why I'm kind of, like, cautious about this and them making change. Because they did the change thing before, and it, what was it called? The Raccoon City.
That game was so bad.
Yeah. And that didn't work. I guess what it is not necessarily that I mind the change, but I mind the change in this franchise because they haven't done anything that solid lately to justify them taking the risk. I think right now the risk for them is actually making a good game.
Well, Steve. And I guess that's the other question. Do you think if they went back to survival horror, they're going to make a good survival horror game?
Yeah,
I really don't.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true. I don't know. I just don't feel that confident in Capcom anymore.
Well, for me, when it comes to Resident Evil, I never really cared for the traditional games because I felt like when it comes to being repetitive, Resident Evil was just up there and being repetitive. There's always some boss fight after some corridors and some real crazy, freaky shit that shouldn't even exist. There's some herbs in the fucking room you gotta break into. They always give you some bum ass pistol to fight off a horde. Like, I didn't really care for the Resident Evil traditional games. What interests me about this game is that supposedly it's an RPG of Resident Evil, but I don't see where it says that anymore. I don't know if I just made that up, but I thought I seen that it was going to be an RPG. Now, if it's an RPG open world zombie game and they do it right, I'm interested. But other than that, I'm not so sure I care for Resident Evil, especially now after it's been watered down and so on and so forth.
And how to say this? I saw they showed gameplay off at Comic-Con for anybody that didn't see it. They showed like actual gameplay, matches running. It is this weird middle ground between like a fast-paced like Rainbow Six almost, but it's like player versus player. It's literally just like a team deathmatch, but ridiculously fast-paced in my opinion. Let me see if I can't find a video of the gameplay, because I saw people were linking me around, showing me what it looked like.
And haven't heard that many good things about the gameplay, because I heard a couple of websites say that it seemed awkward to them. We'll see though. We will definitely see. Again, it's like confidence in Capcom at this point for me, and supporting the game enough to make it a good game is kind of low.
And alright, here we go. I'm sorry, just looking at it. You know when you read comments and you realize you shouldn't have?
Alright,
I dropped it in the chat.
Anybody got something else on there?
I would need to see this video
That's
first. This is bad radio, by the way. What the fuck is that?
The animation work. Look, I'm taking this as an alpha product because the animations do need a lot of work. I will give it that. The game looks awkward, but yeah. When you see the animations, you'll see what I'm talking about. I wonder if I'll get banned
that
from the
melee
chat
killed it.
I don't know. We'll see. Am I gonna get banned from the chat? Yeah. I can't post it in the chat.
Wow, it really does have the like title shots like Rainbow Six. That is straight. Why is he moving on the ground like that? I don't.
Mike, I think you have to drop it in the chat since you're the owner. I can't do it.
Holy.
Wait, what?
Let me see if I
first link you dropped,
drop
right?
it in the chat.
Yeah, I dropped it in our chat. Yeah, you should be able to drop it in the chat because you're.
Yeah, I did.
The video, it is again, it could be good. Capcom, I say that it could be good. I don't have a problem with the idea. I have a problem with what you've put into practice so far, though. This, people have a reason to be mad about this.
Yeah.
See, you can't say. You just get caught up. What?
Yeah. No. So. And you really shouldn't have your teammates sliding.
And
like
so
that.
Conceptually, you have some type of a jammer, I think, on your player that makes it so that the zombies don't attack you. Only reason I think this is because somebody got shot and it was like their jammer's messed up, and all of a sudden the zombies actually start swarming them. So it's weird. Like, the zombies can play effect. I don't know if this is supposed to be tactical or what this is supposed to be. But
so what is it like? Team versus zombie versus?
It's teams versus like this. This gameplay is teams versus team. Like it's essentially last man standing, one life,
Right.
each round. The zombies can. I don't know. Like, I don't think this is for the United States. I really don't. I think this is more for an Eastern market than it is for a Western one.
I don't know if that'll be accepted over there, especially since they're big on the franchise. This doesn't. I mean, I really. They're not big on shooters in the Japanese market to begin with.
Right. So this
But
has
if
to
you're
be
gonna,
for a
if they're
Western
gonna
market.
indulge in a shooter, I think even they're wise enough to want something of a little better quality than the one I'm seeing here.
I'm hoping. Well, I don't know. I didn't even look to see when this is coming out. It's just why it doesn't look far enough in development for, in my opinion, you to show it off.
Yeah, nah.
It looks
Yeah.
like. It looks like it's like. What's before alpha and beta?
No, like this looks like an actual alpha. Animations aren't where they're supposed to be. The game clearly isn't in a finished state. QA testing, little to none has been done. I'm thinking, honestly, this is probably going to be a free-to-play game with some degree of microtransactions.
And you know they're moving to that because remember they announced that free-to-play game for PlayStation 4 that we've not heard about since they announced it.
Oh, Deep Down.
Yeah.
Where is Deep Down?
Exactly.
That was supposed to be a launch title or a round launch.
Yeah, exactly. When the last time we heard
2 years
them mention
later.
Deep Down? Haven't heard much about that game. So yeah, this is probably going to go on the Konami please pile of gaming. Oh my god, that's sad. That is pretty sad.
You know, if oh, good.
All right, let's not even discuss this. I'm kind of.
It caught your attention though. See, they did their job.
Hey, they got like 15 minutes to talk out of us. So hey, somebody out there cared enough to speak about you. You should feel good about yourself, people. Feel proud of yourself, Konami.
Nah.
I was about to call them Konami. Hey, Konami, Capcom, one of the fucking same.
They all fucking up.
Yeah, one's trying to make you gamble in smoke-filled rooms. The others, I don't know what the fuck the others doing. Who knows? Anyway, so. And we talked about this earlier. I talked about this earlier in the week with somebody, but Phil Spencer's comments on whether or not somebody asked him whether or not he thought the Xbox would be able to quote unquote catch the PS4, and his response was he doesn't really think so. His reasons were he felt like the messages in the beginning of the Xbox One's lifespan, I'm kind of heard it and things like that, but at the end of the day, his concern is not necessarily beating Sony, but to make sure that people who are invested in their brand, one, feel like they could trust them like they did before that whole mess with Don Matrix, and two, to just make sure that he's offering people a quality product, period, because he stands by his product and he believes that it's something that people will enjoy. And I paraphrase that a bit. Try to remember to put the article in the chat once I pull it up. But the reason I want to talk about that is because I find Phil Spencer to be an incredibly fascinating person. And in an era of gaming where I feel like honesty and being honest and as candid as possible, and trying to make realistic statements and arguments is rare. And for someone who is in charge of a company to do that, to me, is very, very admirable. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to know how you guys, one, felt about the comments, two, felt about Phil Spencer. Because me, personally, I'm a huge fan of Phil Spencer. I was a fan when he first took over Xbox, and he seems to make me a bigger fan of himself as time goes on.
Yeah, the more he goes on. Yeah.
So,
I
Modem,
feel
what
the
do you
same
think?
way.
Because you are a big Xbox fan. How do you feel about his comment?
You know, when it comes down to it, I feel like this is what we needed as Xbox fans, and this is what we should have had at the beginning, right? And now that we have this, and just like he said, to focus on having the gaining the trust back of the fans and stuff like that. That's huge. And to know that a company actually, or at least the head of a company, now cares about what its customers, its loyal fans want from them, that's huge. And I don't think there's any other CEOs or head of whatever are so much doing that themselves. So I applaud it. Like, to me, it's just making me look good being an Xbox fan, because at least our head is saying stuff like this, and then he's actually focused on what he should be focused on, instead of like indulging in bad press or trying to make Xbox look good by putting another brand down. So he definitely has my respect, even more so now than he did before.
Rod, what do you think?
That's pretty much it, though.
I mean, y'all both hit on it. He's a moderate voice in a sea of insanity right now. Like, he's somebody that's willing to be honest, to be straightforward, to not give the standard, oh no, we're Xbox, we can do anything, our fans will carry it. Like, he'll be like, this is the real situation. I don't necessarily care about
Right.
that stuff. What I care about I care about the people that have chosen Xbox. Whether or not we catch up doesn't matter. It's a sign that he actually cares about the brand far more than just the profits it makes. He cares about,
Right.
and that's really rare nowadays. Y'all hit everything on the head. I think he, as a businessman, I have a lot of respect for. He's made a lot of decisions that have helped Xbox.
Definitely so.
And he is pretty much the person that has, ever since the whole initial announcement of the Xbox One, he pretty much has saved that brand. People were so against the Xbox One, but more and more, every single month it seems like, I look at what he's doing and it's like, that's a good move. That's the correct direction. It's changing the dialogue, and I think we need more people like him. More people. I don't think Sony will ever do something like this. And I think this is very much a Western company thing. We won't see this out of a Japanese company, I don't think. Just because that's not how they work necessarily.
Yeah.
But more credit to him. I want him to keep doing his thing.
It's funny that you said the Western thing, because I think he actually goes against a lot of Western traditions. Because I think in the Western hemisphere, we like to thump our chest a lot. And you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people like to do the big, grand, brash type of way of promoting. We talk trash because we're
That's our
this.
culture.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
It's our culture to talk shit.
Yeah, we are the culture of talking shit. That's how, America, basically, that whole thing came from.
Pretty much.
I agree with you on that front.
Huh?
But I agree with you on that front. But what I would also argue is that in a Japanese company or Eastern company.
Well, no, I agree with you with the Japanese thing. They would, I honestly find Shuhei Yoshida to be kind of a oddity for Sony, because, he's that guy who he loves games and he just talks about games and like
But
in like such a gleeful way. He's not necessarily like how you see the Nintendo people, who are very matter
Right.
of fact. For it, he gives Sony a more friendlier face because I hate to say it this way, but Eastern companies don't necessarily do the like kind and cuddly
well, I think because they're still
representation.
Japanese. The Japanese are very much traditionalists.
Yeah,
There's a look to a businessman. There's this way a businessman acts. And I see I am Brian in the comment section. Exact like you're hitting on it. Every single interview that I see, it makes me more excited that I have an Xbox One. I want like they're making the right moves. They're doing the things that people want. Like he's not going to get caught up in gaming politics. He's not going to really bullshit you and try and make you feel good. He's going to give you the honest answer, but also show you that he's doing his best
Right.
to fix it or to do whatever he can to improve the situation. It's not we may be behind, but probably by next year, which let's be real, Sony's had a ridiculous first 2 years with their console.
yeah,
Yeah.
And it's not like Microsoft Microsoft, it's hard to pick up that launch steam now 2 years into that cycle. But like Sony did with the PS3 starting to catch the Xbox 360, in time, as long as you continue to improve and if Phil Spencer keeps doing what he's currently doing, we will get to a point where I think the Xbox One will catch the PS4. No doubt. Because he's making the decisions that need to be made for that to happen.
definitely.
Yeah.
He's definitely doing a good
So,
job.
to foreshadow a bit, what do you think some of his next moves will be? Because we all feel like he's the man who's going to do what is need to be done to keep the brand in a positive light, to push the brand forward, and to keep the customers happy. And PlayStation just recently got their price drop. It's now $350. So for me, I feel like the next step would be to drop the Xbox One even lower.
And see, I don't think that's the next move. Actually, I don't think they need to drop
Really?
it. No, I don't really think they. I think to drop the price again would be kind of a panic tactic. Like always thought that the first initial drop was the shit. We fell behind. Let's do this now, and hopefully we can like when they dumped the Kinect, it was a like concession to try to like get a boost. And I think the drop to 350 was kind of that too. It was like we need to do this to catch up. I think he's done with the let's do this to catch up. I think he's more focused on let's do this to improve ourselves, and eventually people will come to us. I think like early on when the Xbox One came out, when they used to talk about how we got all these studios working on all these games, I was definitely doubtful because Microsoft never showed a real passion towards actually doing all of these games like they were saying in the beginning. And it's like if you look at the first year of Xbox after that, it's like some of the games that came out they never promoted, while others, they got dropped and things like that. I think he's going to be that guy that's committed to diversifying their portfolio in the like gaming library. I think that's one of the things he's going to try to do is to try to kind of put Xbox on par with some of the things that make people like PlayStation over it, which is you're not just getting your shooters. We do actually produce games that aren't just shooter based, because that's always been a big stigma about the Xbox brand over the years, is that it's just a console for people who like shooters. I think he's trying to change the culture of the console completely, and I think that that's a positive step because he's showing like he's committed to being open because he's the guy. He says it all the time. He plays all types of stuff. I think that's what he wants the Xbox to be. Is that console that anybody, any type of gamer, can come to and enjoy it. And I think that's going to be something that's going to be key to future success for the Xbox. Price, I mean, I think right now to drop it again, I don't think the company would want it because that would put them in a state where they would probably be losing more money than they want to on hardware development. Two, again, like it's just, I think $350 right now is the perfect price for both of these consoles. And then $400 for like the terabyte model if you have a terabyte model. I think that's comfortable enough pricing. It's just now going to all be about what's your library looking like, what's your software looking like, what is it that you offer other than your price. And I think he's doing a good job of building momentum for what they offer, and I think that's going to be the better route for them to go through marketing and just actually doing it, you know.
For me, I feel like the price dropping isn't so much because personally I feel like the Xbox can compete with the PS4 on any day. Like, it has a great games library. The hardware isn't really that different. Just through and through. I believe it can do that, and I would, even now, I would gladly play for an Xbox One. So, for me, I feel like the price dropping would be for those who don't feel that way. Just to bring in those new customers, bring it back some of those people that they lost to the for due to bad marketing and all that jazz. And obviously, I feel like he's done a great reversal. He basically two chains the whole Xbox career. He turned it all the way around. Like, no one was really talking about Xbox. Xbox was paying for good marketing. They was paying off YouTubers to say good things about it and all that. So I definitely think the Xbox can compete. Nor would I ever say differently or feel differently. But it's just for those naysayers, just to give them something to argue about in the sense of, or debate about, what should I get now? Should I get the PS4? If it is, well, the Xbox One's cheaper, and it's pretty much the same thing besides the exclusives. Maybe I just get an Xbox because it's cheaper. $300 price tag wouldn't be bad. That's pretty much what they are heading to, anyways. Because by the end of the 360 life cycle, 360s were like $250 for the Elite models. So I think that's where they head into. I don't know, man. Maybe some more bundles. Maybe bundle the Connect again. Something. I think as far as catching up, there's certain things they can do, and one of those things would be like the price drop. That's the only thing I can see them doing to catch up.
Well, the only reason, the thing that really makes me think that doesn't work because they've been cheaper for almost a year before Sony has done it, and they've still been outpaced, with the exception of the E3 month this year. They've been outsold 2-1 still. So I don't. That's why I say I think it kind of goes like with how going back to PS3. I don't think it necessarily ended up being the pricing that brought them back. I think it's just that Sony just worked really, really hard at making up for the culture that they built from their fucked up launch from the PS3 and the bullshit that they said and that they did. It's like eventually they did enough to appeal to people with their library, their marketing, and their message.
Right.
And I think Phil understands that too. I mean, price drop will get those people who are looking to save a buck always. But I don't know, like for me, maybe this is me, I don't want to just draw you in with the cheaper price because I feel like most people who buy things because it's cheaper aren't really going to do much else with it afterwards. Like, you're going to buy the hardware, but then you're not going to invest in the software, which is what helps continue to fuel these platforms financially. You know, I feel like price drops kind of put you in the Wii type of situation where everybody buys it because it's the cheapest thing. They play it for a while. Yeah, this is fun, and then they throw it in the closet. I don't want those type of people. I want committed people to this, and I want to throw the message out to people I know who really are into gaming and would be committed to it first before I go after the people who are just looking to save a buck. That's just me.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. I just see, as far as what they can do, I feel like pushing the hardware would be the easier thing to do. At least pushing some kind of software or giving them something for free, some kind of game or something, just anything of that nature, because that would be the quickest way. Offering like one of their biggest titles for free with besides like the Halo consoles, which are like $500 for the 1 terabyte. They could easily bundle a standard system, standard 500 gigs, and give them what am I trying to say? Just give them Halo.
Hit up Best Buy again and get them to do another deal.
Right.
That Best Buy deal.
And as far as it was. As far as have we seen them prosper from price dropping as anything? I think they've seen a lot, because there was that one report where for about, I want to say like a few months, like for like 3 months, the Xbox One was beating the PS4 sales. So, it only gets to a point where the people who haven't upgraded to where they be like, well, I have to up now. It's so affordable, this and that. Like, there's no reason not to, But, I mean, because price drop do at this moment, because he's doing everything else. He's literally doing everything else. Like, what else can he do to win people over besides a price drop?
I mean, well, the thing is, if it's gonna, what I'm seeing is it's gonna kind of be similar to the PS3 thing, which is it's gonna be a war of attrition. It's gonna be a slow grind. Everybody who's into the fanboy race is gonna keep screaming how dominant the PlayStation is, not paying attention to how slowly but surely the Xbox One creeps up on it. Same way with the PS3. Everybody kept saying how over the PS3 was. It's done. It ain't shit. Xbox just rules. But it's like, as time went on, it took that next step up, and next step up. And then by the time we were ready to come out, like a year before they announced these new consoles, all of a sudden, they are even in sales. Nobody saw it because everybody was just focused on what had been happening before, that nobody paid attention. I think that's kind of what's going to happen this time around too, is that eventually they're just going to all of a sudden Sony's going to look over their shoulder and be like, oh shit, where you come from? Because you're standing right next to me. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, so Microsoft is in the best position to catch up right now.
Yeah. And I still maintain that they were going to always dominate the Western hemisphere anyway, because they are more Western-centric product, and people, I think, here are a lot more familiar and a lot more comfortable with the Xbox brand. And I think that a lot of people, who went from Xbox to PlayStation are just slowly looking for their excuse to go back.
Yeah.
Over here. I still think that at the end of the day, Sony's probably going to carry the world, because the world views things a little differently. But the Western Hemisphere, I think, like North America, they're definitely going to take over here.
starting this month, Microsoft needs to how to say this? All right, so starting this month, Microsoft basically has the opportunity to start catching up on ground really quickly because of the fact most of Sony's big hitters are coming spaced out over next year, and there's not even necessarily a whole bunch of them that we know of anyway, spaced out over next year. And because of that, if Microsoft really starts to push games, which this is the best time, we are 2 years into the console life where people understand how to develop for it now. More people have it, and more people are going to get it. There's enough of an install base that it's going to be a matter of who can put out quality games or consistently put out games that demand you purchase the system. As much as I don't like exclusives, this is that time where exclusives matter. This is the time where the Gears 4s, the Halo 5s, the exclusive Tomb Raiders. Tomb Raider, where it's positioned, is just such a great idea. It's horrible to go up against Fallout 4, but it's this idea that we have so much time and there's a bunch of multiplats. Okay, multiplats can go anywhere, but the more of these exclusive that Microsoft gets, it's more and more, as Mike said, it's an excuse. You give people the excuse. Marketing has nothing really necessarily to do about what is it? It has nothing to really necessarily do about specifically selling something to somebody. It's giving them the excuse to spend the money. You just have to make sure it's justified in their mind, and you can pretty much get somebody to do anything.
Yeah, very true. Like I said, for me, I just don't see any other thing for them to do. Maybe they can even drop the price of fucking Xbox Live, like doing shit like that.
I think
like
that would help
They
too.
won't do that.
Even it up with PlayStation Plus.
It's not maybe even be like they're a decade in at this point.
Well, I mean that's like saying that's more of a reason to give them a price drop for the online, because I mean they've been paying this for so long. It's like, well, let's just give them a $10 price drop on each little thing accordingly. Like, long-time fans will pay for that shit, especially with PSN and going down so often. Like, people will switch over. Like, I'm paying for PSN, it keeps going down. Xbox Live just got cheaper. I mean, that would be a good deal to me, especially with all the shit that they got lined up.
By the way, Hakeem made a good point, and thanks for coming through, about the exclusives, about how like they honestly are so few and far between. That's very true. As much as we talk about exclusives, they don't necessarily drop that frequently.
I think that was what that's the issue Microsoft's had this generation so far. I mean, if we look back at Xbox 360, they had the original Mass Effect, they had the original BioShock, they had games that went on to become multiplats, but they were these massive, like initially anyway, massive titles for their console exclusively. It's the idea of having a title like that even if you get the first
I'm just
game
saying, like what Hakeem is saying is basically like they kind of come so distant in between, far in between.
I would say
unless you have an affinity for that series,
yeah,
it probably is not going to be that big. Like, I could say, like, if I'm a huge God of War fan, PlayStation the only place I can play it, then hell yeah, I get the PlayStation.
Right.
But
I think that's for established.
But if I'm not that huge fan, it's not gonna matter to me. You know what I mean?
I think I think that goes for established series. I'm saying, like, be willing to take risks, be willing to create a new IP, and understand that yes, it may fail. It could very well fail, but to create a new IP that is exclusive, and if it's a good game, it gives you a lot of weight because you create something else that you can run off of, or just stop being stupid and oh wait, you sold fucking Rare because you're dumbasses. Sorry.
They sold Rare?
I believe isn't Rare owned by
Rare, Microsoft still owns Rare.
Who did Amazon pick up?
They picked up the people who did Killer Instinct, the original.
That's who it is. Yeah. But even still, like, then This is where you go back, bring back. Yes, you did the Rare Collection, which is really nice. And like I was excited that they brought back From Dust. Like they were going into these archives to find older games, but it seems like those are starting to die off. Gamers, yes, it's hard to take risks, but if you can, you need to take them if you actually want to expand the catalog.
I would say the difference though between Sony and Microsoft, and I would exclude Nintendo because all they do is exclusives for the most part. The difference between Sony and Microsoft exclusives are more paced out, but we get them more frequently. Like there's at least 2 to 3 exclusives
I don't know if
a
you
year.
get it more frequently.
There's at least 2 to 3
is because Sony has so many small. Like I think Microsoft has bigger.
Well, more so, not so much frequently. Let me correct myself. Not more frequently, but it's more paced out. Because like right now, Sony had a great running. We all know this in the beginning, but it's like all their exclusives have already dropped, and they even said it themselves. Like we don't really have anything lined up, and we're counting on third-party support for sales and shit like that. So it's like they push all the stuff out at one time while Microsoft paces it, and we get it every so often.
Well, the thing that's bothered me about Sony with theirs is that they have so many different properties that they could do that pushing them all out around the same time, I think that's what kills a lot of them. Because if you look at a lot of the sales on their exclusives when they throw them out all within the same year, it's hard for one to stand out. Like, of course, Halo should make the numbers it does because Microsoft makes sure they clear the way for Halo to be that thing. Whereas Sony will put out Infamous, then 2-3 months later will put out, say, and they did this before. What was the game they put out after Infamous? It was a year Infamous 2 came out. It was like a bunch of different exclusives. They came out like once every 2 months. And they all sold 1 million, but they kind of all didn't, do much more than that.
Even then, like if you look at it, Killzone dropped at launch. 3 months later, you had Infamous. Then, like you're saying, like it was almost every 2 to 3 months. At max, there was another game coming in. But I think I agree with Sony's platform more than I do with Microsoft's, though. Because I think Microsoft, by doing that, for instance, for doing that that's a way of stopping people from necessarily getting your consoles by spacing them out as much as they are. It's like, well, I personally am not. I love Halo's universe, but I'm not pressed to get Halo 5. But when a new Gears game comes out, and I think there's a decent amount of people where you have those series that you enjoy enough, and I guess like Hakeem was saying, when you space them out to where this is going to be Halo 5's year, next year is going to be Gears 4 year, like when you do it that way, what you do is you get the people that are willing to say, well, I'll just wait till next year when I can get the game I want and pick up the console then. Most people aren't of the mindset of I'll get it now and wait for stuff to come. I will wait until something I want comes. And so I think that will slow down sales. Whereas Sony's like, well, there's plenty of stuff, and if people want to take a risk, like Dark Souls 2 had been out for about a year, and then Bloodborne drops. Well, all the Souls fans wanted to play the next From Software game, so we went ahead and picked up that. But if you didn't want that, you also had what else came out the early part of the year for PlayStation? But there was enough games. The Order, like there was enough games where people had other reasons than just that one game. Like they could look and say, well, they have a bunch of titles coming out. It's not just this year is going to be Bloodborne here, which, funny enough, it kind of has been. It's just, I think it doesn't work. It hurts sales more than it helps by spacing them out as much as they do.
Yeah, it's definitely. I see both points. It's interesting. Like I know why I chose Sony was because they had so many different things, at the time, and I think that was what would get me more inclined to get an Xbox One if I had. I guess maybe if it were different kinds, as in genres.
Yeah.
Again, it's like the Microsoft shooter, like their biggest things is shooters, and I play shooters, but I don't like to always play shooters. So that's kind of what didn't help me with the 360 era. But I honestly think that they're going to do a lot more than that, and I think that that's what's going to bring a lot more people to the table. We'll see though. I mean, at the end of the day, clearly Microsoft is putting out some good stuff. Eventually Sony's going to have some more stuff to offer, so whatever choice you make, I think you're going to end up being happy with your purchase. But I'm just glad that Phil Spencer is working as hard as I am to dispel the whole let's fight over the whose console better instead of just doing the smart thing like he's doing,
Right.
which is telling you, hey, you know,
Speak to the moderates. Don't
Yeah.
speak to the extremes.
exactly. Yeah, so.
Yeah, definitely. Agree.
Moving on. Speaking of Sony, there was one thing that I noticed the other day is they have a press conference coming.
What?
You know that?
No, I did not.
What?
Sony's
They-
had
they
a major
opt
press
out?
conference coming. It's Paris Game Week.
Oh, right. Okay, I know about that.
That
But
thing
I
that they
thought
just decided to skip Gamescom for, which
Right,
I
that's what I
never
was
knew
gonna say.
about until they
skipped
skipped Gamescom.
for the Paris Press Week.
Yeah.
Which, to me, that just further says like we don't really have much to show, so we're just gonna say.
Well, no, they said that before Gamescom. They were like, we're not doing any first parties.
Right. But
I also think that that's kind of them trying to remove themselves from a shared space. Because I think me personally, I'm a fan of what they did with PlayStation Experience.
Right.
Do your own thing where you're not quote unquote contending with anybody. Celebrate your brand on your own platform. And I think that's kind of what they're trying to use the Paris game thing for. Because Microsoft's not really going to be there. It's not going to really be anybody but a couple of some publishers. You know, it's normally a publisher thing. It's not necessarily a console developer thing. So they pretty much have created themselves their own platform.
Yep.
And I think part of the reason they're doing this is so that they can kind of get an early jump on the on the PlayStation Experience announcements, so they can put out other stuff. Like, it's funny because I feel like Street Fighter is going to be a big thing there. Because have you noticed, like, Street Fighter has been making all these different announcements at different international reviews?
Every month,
the characters from that area debut there and stuff like that.
Every month to 2.5 months, they're dropping a new character. Every time there's new.
And it's always like in Dubai, they introduced the Arabian guy. I think in Brazil, you're gonna get Blanca. You know, when they were in England, Cammy.
Well, who would come out of France? Because they already announced who would come out of France. Well, we might see a new character, so we'll see.
But yeah, there'll probably be is there a French character in Street Fighter, by the way? I'm
trying to think.
They've had so many characters come up over the years.
I can't keep track of the characters in my head.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I can't keep track of everybody.
Ridiculous. But
Because
I'm just curious, like, are they trying to make this why are they trying to make this a big thing, and what are you going to do? Because, like Modem said, they didn't really have anything to show. They admitted they didn't have anything to show. Are you holding back just so you can do this here?
The thing is, Street Fighter is literally huge. Like, that is, if there was a game for them to do it on, Street Fighter is that game.
But Street Fighter isn't set to come out until 2017, right?
2015. No. It's March. It's March of next year. March of next year.
Okay.
No, but the reason that's so big is literally you're taking the biggest.
That's not even soon. That's nowhere near soon.
But what you're doing,
I think November to March isn't that big of a distance. It's kind of like that marketing, like quote unquote hype stretch
what most people don't realize is that the Street Fighter V beta has been going on since that initial, like that big thing back in July. And people have steadily been playing it and setting it up because this is still the biggest. This is the biggest fighting game on the Mortal Kombat X. Almost took it over, but it's still going to be the biggest fighting game. Period. That was started last gen, and I think it's going to continue. But the fact that it's on a PlayStation exclusive console, like it's basically saying, fighting game fans, we are what you've been waiting for, and we're not going to let you forget that. We're the people that you have to watch. We're the people you have to care about, and we're gonna. They're basically stringing us along, but it's like we're gonna give you just enough to keep you looking, keep you paying attention.
All right, put it this way, Moto. It's kind of like the Halo 5 stuff, like how they did the beta. When was the beta for Halo 5?
Last December.
Right. They started off last year by starting to get you hype off the beta. And then they hyped you up a little bit more 4 or 5 months before its release at E3 with the stuff that they had, and then they, that's marketing for games these days. They jump on you early, they space it out a long time. It's like you're throwing a lot of stuff at us 5 months before it comes out, but they want to keep it on your brain, I guess, is what they're doing it. And getting you hyped early so you can just run amok and be so excited, like, you're anticipating your 21st birthday or something.
Right.
It works, it seems. At the same time, I think it can be counterproductive, too, because I say this all the time about games. They hype stuff so much so early on, and it's like they get your hopes up so high, and even if it's not a bad game, if it's not what the hype built your expectations to be, people go nuts.
Yeah.
I kind of wish gaming companies didn't do that anymore. I kind of wish it went back to how it was, where we weren't so exposed. I feel like the more we're exposed, the worse it gets when we get something that it's not a bad game. It's just not, it didn't live up to the fantasy that they helped create in our brains.
Right.
Speaking of that, I'm not gonna let you know how to get into it. Speaking of that, I guess the best game that has done that in recent years is more the biggest game, in my opinion anyway, that's been having to deal with that in recent years is Destiny. And we're still seeing that most recently, I guess, with the microtransaction stuff that has taken a hold of the internet for the last week or so since its announcement and eventual release. And I guess I'll ask, what are y'all's feelings on it? I know a lot of people, if you were on Twitter, you caught some of it, or a lot of it.
Oh, and we've actually had this conversation.
Right.
Well, and I'm just going to say my piece really quick because I really am done engaging with this conversation. For those who want to really know my feelings on microtransactions as a whole, not just with Destiny, but as a whole, and the reaction that they make the gaming community do, just go to my channel. Yeah, shameless plug. Fucking watch my goddamn videos, because at this point I have talked enough about it to where it's like, for me, enough is enough.
Right.
In short, it is a almost 20-year-old practice that we have all dealt with, that we have all indulged in, that we accept in some cases, and we don't. We don't accept it in Destiny because a lot of us think that the game is shit. Not me, but I know a lot of y'all think the game is shit. When you think something is shit, it's easy to continue to bang on it. But if you like it, you'll excuse it. And that's just the bottom line to it. So it is what it is. Y'all have fun with it. I wish I had some alcohol, to be quite honest.
Well, I wanted to keep this conversation short anyways, so really quickly. I don't have a problem with Destiny having microtransactions. Period. What I have a problem with is if these microtransactions affect gameplay. And for the most part, as long as they keep it to where it's not affecting gameplay, and players can't simply buy what other people have spent so much time on doing to achieve, then I'm cool with it. But like Mike said, it's really just about, your brand of bullshit. So, it's whatever you deem worthy. I'm not gonna tell anybody how to spend their money. It is what it is at the end of the day.
So, again, I think from a fundamental standpoint, I agree about it. As long as you shouldn't be able to buy power. You should not inherently be able to buy inherent power. You shouldn't be able to buy things that are going to give you an advantage on somebody else. Saying that, I think that so far Destiny has not come out or shown any signs of anything like that, or most games don't. Many people will say that things, if you want to go away from Destiny, people will say VC from NBA 2K is pay to win or is buying power, which
it is.
It really isn't, though. It really isn't.
Well, you can make your character a 99 off the bat and then go into the park and ball out. So that's pretty much buying power.
You can buy progression. You can speed up the process that it would take to get there, but you're not inherently making yourself better at the game. Like, it's not something that someone else can't do. They just have to spend more time doing it. And it's not impossible to do without paying money. I think the issue comes down to, and this is not against anybody, but people value their own time far more than they would value someone else's. I always make this situation of the person that works 80 hours a week that gets 3 hours a week to play games, and his option is to probably either buy VC, or would buy something to help him progress anyway, or to just not play the multiplayer. Because you're either going to be stuck so far behind that you're never going to catch up, or you're going to, or you're just going to be constantly losing. And regardless of what anybody says, the whole 2K buy and wins thing, I'm not.
Well, okay, if for pleading for the case about people who don't get to play enough, why is VC available at the start? Why not just make it available maybe a month after, maybe a week after, or something like that? Why are people having maxed out my players off gate, making it easy for them to learn their player and ball out on parts where people are competitive and they take this very seriously and they feel like people should have to work as hard as other people? So,
and this is that weird thing. I don't think there's really a super big solution of saying this is 100% fair for everybody, because you can make an argument for pretty much any person on any side. What it comes down to, though, is that's like not being told that you're not going to be able to really have a chance at not the working class person or the working person isn't going to have as much of a chance at the game for an entire month. There are people that, regardless of whether you could buy VC or not, they would max their character out in a day. They would glitch it, they would figure some way to do it. But I think what it comes down to, I think that I'm not necessarily saying that I'm saying give the person choices and give people options. Don't just cut something off because it doesn't necessarily fit one side, because it's just as easily, I don't think just because you play a game a lot you should win more. I think it should be purely skill based. Whoever is better at the game should inherently win. Meaning if you can pay to get your character to 90 but you're actually better at the game, which requires games to be more skill based, which is a completely different topic. I think that should matter at the end of the day. I just think not enough games are balanced or skill based enough to where that actually shows.
Mm. Yeah, I can see that. We need to see that side of it.
No, I just wondered because the internet once again lost its collective shit as usual.
Yeah, they did. Well, with that, let's close out on our what the fuck moment. Mike, are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Just sipping his tea.
His tea. Me and you talked. Well, we didn't talk about it, but I sent you this link to this what the fuck moment. Prod, did you get it?
Let me look at because you tweeted it at me, I believe. Let me look at it.
And let me reopen it. Did I close it?
If Prod don't have it, Mike, send it to me.
Yeah, I found it.
I have it.
It's Home Depot, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I don't have that one.
Okay, Prod, what do you have?
The Subway sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Subway sandwich.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
All right. So
Prod, send that to Mike.
Continue.
Mike, send Home Depot to Prod.
Yeah, just put that in our chat.
I'll narrate for the first two, and we'll close out on these two. So, our first story is about Wonder Woman using weapons. That's what we're going to call her. At least that's what I'm going to call her. A pedestrian woman at Home Depot, just a regular woman who owns a carry license for a gun, decided to help security with a shoplifter. And as the criminal was getting away, the woman busts out her gun, starts unloading at the car, trying to pop its tires. Trying to be a model citizen, I guess. And yeah, reportedly no one was hurt, but she was 47 years old. Shit, I don't really know what to say about this. She was Caucasian. This was in Clarkston. I don't even know what state that is, but yeah, it was a 9mm handgun, and yeah, that was pretty much that's what it comes for.
American to Home Depot. The hell?
Right. Why the fuck was she at Home Depot? Let's talk about that. What the fuck does a 47-year-old Caucasian woman who has a carry license for a gun?
I'm gonna say this is in
Depot?
Texas. No offense to anybody watching who's from Texas. I'm gonna say this is someplace in Texas.
I can kind of agree with
Look,
that.
I'm not gonna give it
If
just
it's not
Texas. I'm gonna
Texas,
say the
then
southern
it's
part of the
Florida.
United States. I'll say the southern part of the United States. I'm not even putting in Texas.
Yeah, because
It could even be in
Virginia,
Florida.
you know,
It could even be in
some
Florida.
wild shit in Virginia too. That's true. That's true.
The South, look, as someone that has grown up here, the South is kind of like a gun is can be a daily used tool. Somebody shoplifting, all right, you need to open your can of soda, all right. Go ahead, just use both. It's all good.
It is kind of like that episode of The Simpsons when Homer was using his gun for everything. It really is. That's like, it's crazy.
I want to know now. Here's one thing. Y'all are joking about Home Depot. I want to know what made her see a shoplifter and thought it was a good idea to open fire in a parking lot.
Right.
Where does that click? Like, I understand even pulling out the gun and aiming at the person, but to actually open fire.
She clearly watched too much TV. She, like, being 47, she's old enough to remember a TV show that I'm going to mention that neither one of y'all probably know what the fuck it is, because I'm old as shit and I know what it is. But she probably watched a lot of Cagney and Lacey.
I have
It was
no
a show
idea
about
what
two
that is.
female cops. And she probably felt like this was her moment to relive her childhood. And do the same thing they did in that show. That's what I'm thinking.
That's crazy, yo. Like, I don't know what the fuck to say to that. Like, maybe she watched too much Walker Texas Ranger.
This is why, like, seriously, gun laws are good, people. I know there's a lot of crazy people criminals, things
Yeah,
like
but
that.
see, that's the thing.
But
this isn't so much about a gun law because I don't believe there's any law that says just because you have a license to carry a weapon
You don't
doesn't
have
mean you get to
license to
shoot that
discharge.
shit
right.
You don't
in
have
That's the
public.
thing. It's like you have to. Not everybody should have the right to get that. Because,
well, here's the thing.
God damn it,
Here's
you're
the thing.
stupid if you do some shit like this.
They are looking into possibly charging her with something, like what is it? What's the?
It should be
What
stupidity.
is it?
Stupidity.
It's basically it's discharging a firearm without, like, wrongful discharge of a firearm or something.
And public endangerment should be on there too.
Oh, probably.
Because heaven knows of why this car is
Now-
speeding down the street.
Nah, I'm gonna be
with whatever.
100%.
Did she even know? Did she even say what they stole? Like, what if it was just a box of nails?
Yeah.
No, okay, so basically from that article you linked, it was really quickly, dude coming out, she sees loss prevention, which anybody that's worked retail, the assholes that try and be like, you need to do this. You're not doing your fucking job correctly, but they're supposed to stop things from getting stolen. And she sees that, in turn, dude jumps in his car, is going to drive away with it. She pulls out her gun and opens fire in the parking lot.
Why?
I'm gonna end that, but if my mom was there, she would have beat her ass.
You know,
My mom
She need her ass whipped.
My mom would have been like, "There, kids, my kid is around the parking lot. Why are you shoot?"
even then, bruh, it's like
Again, that
it
article
just doesn't
is,
make sense.
That article is the embodiment of America.
Yeah, because the smart thing to do is, hey, the thief's getting away. Let me grab a pen out my purse real quick and write down this license number, so when we call the police, they can track his car. That would have been the smartest thing to do. Not to fucking play like you're Dirty Harry and think that you're going to pick off a car from distance, probably with like a month's gun training at your local gun shop. I'm sorry, nah.
I'm saying though, like
I'm reading more articles.
reading the article is like
The shoplifting.
fucking theft provision. Like that's not even confirmed. That's not even confirmation that this dude was carrying out some big ass plywood trying to get in his car. Like
you know what?
Hold on, listen. This is another article.
Was he really shoplifting?
It's Detroit.
Was this not? Maybe this was an ex-boyfriend of hers.
It is.
She just decided to say he was shoplifting.
I believe it's from Detroit, guys. I believe it's from Detroit. I believe.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's okay.
It's from. I found
depending.
That article links to another article. That article links to
I have
another
a crazy
article
family in Detroit.
from the Detroit News.
I got a crazy family in Detroit.
The shoplifters were identified as a man in his 40s who was driving the vehicle and a man in his mid 40s wearing a black shirt with yellow writing, blah, blah, blah. The second man is believed to have run out of the store with a large box of unknown content or value.
He got light bulbs, and she took shots.
Right?
She did not want him to get those fluorescent light bulbs.
Not on my watch. Pow, pow. Like, what the fuck?
That is
Can you
just
imagine the
ridiculous.
dude though? The dude was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is this light bulb?"
I'm guaranteeing you she emptied the clip because it even says it's unknown how many rounds she fired. That's pretty much
she
unloaded.
Clips.
I could just imagine that scene. Man, I don't know what I would have fucking did if I was in that parking lot. I would have been like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
I'm gonna make this commentary like this has nothing to do, but I guarantee you the two dudes in their 40s were black, or at least I'm calling it.
I don't think so. I think if it was, they would have fucking shot back. Just turned the car around like, bitch, back. Like, I don't think they were black.
So,
I don't think they were black.
Oh my god. Okay, what does Subway do? Because all
right. Our next story, our next what the fuck moment.
If you wait, hold on. Let me preface this. If you enjoy Subway and you eat it consistently, you don't want to hear this.
You might want to cut the video off now.
I'll say
I
that.
didn't read this one, so I'm going in blind. Am I going to need a like?
Let me just paint the picture for you. You hungry? You walking in Subway, get the little fresh smell in. Your mouth start watering. You like you getting ready. Like hell yeah! You get your favorite sandwich, pay for your food. You sit down, and then when you open up the sandwich, you look at the tail end of your sandwich. You see a fucking tail sticking out, and you take a double check. Then you look at the counter, look at the staff, you look back at the sandwich, and that tail is still there. So you decide to open up your sandwich. There's a motherfucking dead mouse in your fucking sandwich. What do you do?
I told you.
How the fuck
I kind of wish y'all
does a
could.
dead mouse end up in a fucking sandwich, bro? Not a cooked dead mouse. Not a chopped up dead mouse.
Oh, so wait, they didn't even like process it?
No, a whole fucking mouse in a fucking sandwich, bro. A whole mouse.
And I have to, first of all, I have to agree with this first comment that I see on this tweet about it, where this dude says, wait, they make the sandwich in front of you. How in the world did they not notice the roll?
Right, if you look at the picture, the fucking mouse looks like it's been covered in fucking oil or some shit, like the vinegar and oil. I
got it. So they didn't, like, you know how in Subway they cover up the food. Somebody forgot to cover up the food. So my man went in for the leaves and just got that handful of leaves. Although I would notice if they was like a mouse-sized object. Like, leaves shouldn't feel that heavy. Just put them on the sandwich.
Thick.
There's no way. There's no way no one shouldn't have fucking noticed this fucking mouse in the fucking thing. And it's not like the mouse was alive and running around trying to escape. The motherfucker was dead. Okay? That's one. You see, this is what happens when you be on the phone and you just tell people what you want and you're not looking at them make your fucking food. And then this is why you don't talk shit to people who make your food. How do we know these motherfuckers making sandwiches didn't throw the rat up in that bitch?
Yeah, I'm thinking this person must have pissed them off. So, because
Nah.
I think so. He wasn't paying attention, pissed them off, came up with attitude. It was like, oh, y'all supposed to, one of them motherfuckers that be like, entitled, I have a better job than you, you just make my food, blah, 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 this is what I want, whatever, and he's on the phone, he's not paying attention, it's, oh, yeah, I'm gonna get you, motherfucker, I've been saving
my issue is that you was able to get a rat that quickly.
No, they probably saved it up.
Yeah, like, this is the time of day that they walk in here. They're gonna order this particular sandwich. They do it every day. I'm gonna fuck with you hard.
Right.
Real hard. It's funny, though, because this reminds me of an incident that I had with a restaurant and a rat. It is sad.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
Because I've actually seen rats in places that I've, like, went in before.
I have a very, like, specific list of places and things I eat at places.
So you don't eat curly fries, I take it.
I eat curly fries. It just depends on the place. Like, it has been like what is it? It's an Arby's, I think it is. It's been an Arby's.
I don't like, but then that's because the Arby's around here is trash.
But let me make a point. It's an Arby's that I've been going to since I was in elementary school. So, like, 15 plus years of maybe one or two bad sets of curly fries. Alright, I can deal with that. But I show up to your place and the first thing I hear about is you sold a dead rat, so we going next door.
What if it's a live rat is running around?
I mean, how does the establishment look? Like, I tell somebody, I'm not gonna be as worried if the place looks dirty and I see a rat. I'm like, all right, you got a problem. I probably wouldn't eat there if it was looking that dirty anyway.
But okay, like, this is what happened to me. I think I told this on my stream once. I go into this Wendy's that I used to live not too far.
Hey, they tell you they got the meat fresh.
And I order what I usually get. When I go to Wendy's, it's always chicken nuggets and fries. I pretty much don't eat anything else. And they're like, okay, we're about to like drop some fresh ones. We're making it. It's going to be a couple of minutes. Cool. I get hot fries, hot nuggets. So I'm standing there chilling. The person who's also in there, um, behind me about the orders chilling. Um, and this lady walks up, and she screams, and we're all looking at her like, "What?" And she's just like, "I'm gone." And then we're like, "Huh?" We look at the front of the counter, and little Jerry the Mouse is crawling up the fucking counter on the outside, where the customers are.
I mean, shit happens, bruh.
Now, what do you think me and the dude did?
I mean, I would have gotten my food. I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck.
Fuck it. I'm here and I'm not like waiting. And they said they dropping fresh stuff, so just hope they don't drop a mouse in there. And I was like, yeah, I agree. And this is like, yeah, okay, we don't go to that Wendy's anymore. They actually tore it down and they actually rebuilt it because that got spread around the neighborhood. And they were just like, yeah, let's just demolish this and remodel it and clean it, gut it out.
But again, Wendy's got that fresh meat. They say that everything is fresh, not frozen.
Well, see, that's why, like, when I go to like Chinese carryouts, I hate to like perpetuate the stereotype, but I limit myself on the types of meats I get from.
Oh, no, I'll be the first person. I'll say it. This is not meant to be socially, racially insensitive or anything, but I will say. Almost every single Chinese restaurant is within a mile of an animal hospital.
Okay, see, that's not true here. But here's one thing that, and I think, like, with me, it's kind of like an old wives' tale type of situation where you kind of got stuck. I mean, now I will eat chicken from...
I mean, anything, you can make anything taste like chicken.
I don't really eat a lot of beef, so I'm not worried about that, or pork, so I'm not worried about that. But here's the thing that we used to all like, especially my cousins. My cousins used to fuck with me hard. They used to fuck with me real hard. We used to go to this carryout near my grandma's house, and they used to always like order. Like I would order either chicken wings or chicken fried rice. Since then, I pretty much only order shrimp because of this. By the way. But they used to always fuck with us when we eat, and they'd be like, "You really shouldn't eat chicken. It's cat." And we were like, "What the hell are you talking about? Stop playing." And they would always hit us with, "Next time you go, pay attention to the carryouts around here. Two things you don't see hanging around these carryouts, like that stray cats in the alley near the garbage cans, or pigeons flying around the back." Wow. And I swear to God, damn near every carryout in the city of D.C., you don't see stray cats hanging around. You don't see pigeons flying around there.
I mean, look, is that really a problem, though?
I don't know if I want to like fucking eat pigeons or cats.
That's definitely a problem, bro.
Look, you can marinate. You can marinate.
Now, of course, this is all coincidental stuff. Like, but when you're a kid, you kind of like, you're like, yo, you fucking with my mind here. This is some real shit. You know.
I mean, you can marinate.
And that's like the running area joke is that you eating cat or pigeon. Because honestly, the chicken wings at Chinese carryouts fucking huge here. I don't know about where y'all at. They're fucking like gigantic.
But okay,
no, a chicken
that brings up that
big.
I'm gonna say this really quickly because I know I can go on forever about this. Everybody, listen to me. You don't go to a fish restaurant to eat chicken. I don't go to Chinese to eat chicken.
They have chickens in China.
If it's not a part of another dish, you should not be getting chicken. Like, no. No. I can't. Like, nah, because people. Here's the thing. And if you ask somebody to describe how it tastes, and they say it tastes like chicken, go buy you some chicken from KFC or Popeyes. Don't eat it.
Well, I mean, that's true with some things. Have you ever had frog legs?
I would go eat chicken then.
No, but have you ever had frog? I swear to God. Like, again, my family being fucked up like they are, we go to this restaurant that my sister used to like in downtown DC, and she ordered like these like tenders, and she's like, you should try these. They make the best tenders. And I'm like, I bite into it, thinking, okay, it's battered, breaded. I ain't, whatever. And I'm like, yo, this is really, really good. So like, what does it taste like to you? I was like, what do you mean? This is chicken, right? It tastes like chicken. Like, nah, you're eating frog legs.
See, no, I tell somebody up front, like, you get mad at me. I like distinct taste. It better not taste like chicken.
But you know what? After it hit me in the head, I was like, these are some goddamn.
Oh my god!
It really tastes good.
My dad says rattlesnake tastes like chicken, but nah.
And see, that's the problem with. I think that's an internal problem with chicken. Why does
it taste too much like everything? Meats, like meat-wise, if it's not beef, if it's not fish,
like beef and pork has a distinctive flavor.
It tastes for whatever reason very similar to chicken.
Like different stuff underwater has its own. Why is it land things that aren't smaller or
smaller land animals?
Yeah,
seemingly taste.
See, John just said fried alligator tastes like chicken too. What is up with this shit?
That shit crazy, yo.
It's the weirdest thing.
See, nah, like,
why?
Because I'm the first person. Like, if you walk up to me and you say it tastes like chicken, I'm gonna ask you, well, what is it? If your answer isn't it's chicken, the situation stops.
Now this shit's gonna fuck me harder the next time I get my sweet and sour chicken, because it actually could be a fucking cat, because that cat may taste like chicken.
I'm trying to remember, do I know anybody that nobody that's expressed like specifically went out of their way to eat cats, so no.
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, I know people who've done like missionary work in Korea, and they say they actually do be hanging skinned cats and shit in certain shops. But I don't know if they said they've never tried it. I need anybody in the chat or anybody who watches the video, please let me know if you taste chicken.
No.
I mean, taste cat. Because I really want to know if cat or dog tastes like chicken.
Don't do that to yourself. You're going to get roasted in the comment section. Don't do that to yourself.
That would blow my mind if it does.
Oh my god.
It really would.
And here, disclaimer, we're not saying go out and eat a fucking cat.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
We're saying if you live in those fucking regions where
I'm
it
not
happens
trying
to be consumed.
Again, a second disclaimer. In no circumstances, PETA, am I encouraging people to harm an animal in an experiment to find out how it tastes like. I'm just saying, if you've had that experience in some place, let me know. You can be the sweetest as you want. Okay? You don't have to give details. I just need a yes or no.
Real brief, just a yes or no.
Right.
Doesn't taste like chicken.
And I feel like we've gone offensive enough with this ending that we probably should close it out before somebody really do come after us. Because I have a feeling like possibly
the shit we talk about,
to carry out across the street from me might come across this and get really offensive and go grab a fucking cat just to serve me next time. It's like those people put the rat probably in that person's Subway sandwich.
I guarantee you it's not. Like, it's not worth the energy to do that. Like, there's plenty of people I want to club over the head when I was working retail, but it wasn't worth the response.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't worth the consequence.
Well, with all that being said, let's close out.
All right, so let's close.
Mice and crazy white women.
Promote your channel, please.
Everything's a Flying Modem, man. Besides my Twitch, which is it's A_Flying_Modem. I don't know why I did that like that, but everything else is a Flying Modem. Come check me out. Appreciate all the support.
I'm Prod, the man fighting the good fight for his YouTube channel.
And eating cats.
Look, I'm gonna be 100%. I'm not even at home right now. I don't know when I'm going to be home. So keep a lookout on Twitter, which is X11 Prodigy. or any updates in the ongoing international incident.
Yeah, he's the man with the long ass names all over the place.
Right.
And you guys, you know what I'm up to. I'm ranting like an old man and all that. And I'm doing a lot of extra life stuff. I will be doing another 8-hour stream this coming Sunday. Every Sunday until Extra Life. I'm trying to fit in a 12-hour stream on probably the Saturday before
Hard
Extra
mode.
Life. I'll do a 12, and then an 8 on Sunday. Damn, just that way I can like get really ready. Keep watching for that information, and all of everybody's links will be in the description. So check that out there. Modem, go ahead and take us out.
All right, man. If you enjoyed the video or the talk show, as it was a very long talk show, make sure you like the video, leave us a comment with what you thought on any of the topics, and Peter, don't come after us. We had nothing to do with cats being put up back in the alleys.
It does taste like chicken.
I have no idea if that's true. Who confirmed that, sir? Who confirmed that?
It's in my works cited page.
Oh my god. So with all that being said, I'm a Flying Modem. My co-host Black Magus and X11 Prodigy, the Cat Master. We'll catch y'all next time.
Everybody, peace. Such a fun.
I'm not gonna.